coming out was hell. Like, the main emotional thing is that I felt neglected by God. Like, why? Hello, I'm still down here and I'm getting gayer by the second. Hurry up. You know, we're losing time here. And so that was emotional. I was like, felt just kind of isolated and very confused, because that was, you know, before I came out to my twin sister. It felt isolating and confusing, and like I was trying so hard to not be that way. So, and very, very afraid to hurt my parents and other family members and lose my support system. You know, you always have that anxiety and fear, like, what if the gay doesn't go away and I slip up and do something gay and people find out? I will be stoned in the street. One of the things that really kind of haunted me and made me re-question for the millionth time where I stood with religion is that I started seeing God as this powerful being that's obsessed with genitalia. And that started to feel wrong to me. Like, why would you give humans this anatomy and then be obsessed with it? Like, what we do with it. Like, you're the one that gave it to me. It just seemed kind of perverted, and I was like, oh, you know who else is obsessed with genitalia? Humans. That was another like aha moment. Like, there we go, projecting who we are onto God because we're so obsessed with it. So that was another thing. I was like, this is all just getting fucking ridiculous now. And then you have like people who are born intersex. I'm sorry, but pretty sure God's pretty cool with whatever, because intersex exists. If that's not your sign, then you're hopeless. When I first started to come out to myself and my twin sister, I had every intention on holding on to the Christianity. It was all I knew. I wanted to at the time, yes. And as things unfolded, I ended up on down the road when I decided to come out, reading way more books. Like, you know, the famous one called Is the Homosexual My Neighbor? And just kind of, it resonated at the time to a degree, but there was something always at the core of me that I just wasn't buying Christianity as it was presented to me during my whole life. But I did try to hold on to it. The main thing that made me want to reject the Christianity was how they would still use Leviticus, and everyone knows all the famous scripture in Leviticus that's completely ludicrous, and why people don't take the stance of homosexuality from Leviticus seriously anymore, because then you have to stop doing like pretty much everything, right? And that's Old Testament. So then I would be like, okay, Old Testament is Old Testament. I'm not going to even concern myself with that. I just want to focus on the New Testament. And so the more I researched the actual translations, I mean, there's so many versions of the Bible. You know, I was probably mainly studying the King James Version. And then knowing that they had changed all these words to mean homosexual. I mean, it went from sodomite, pervert, male prostitute, child molester, and then they ended up with homosexual. It's like, that's such a stretch. It reminds me of playing the game telephone with children. And so then I was like, none of this is what I thought it was to begin with. Is this really written, inspired by a divine creator? Sounds a lot like men. Sounds a lot like humans writing it to mold God into their image and not the opposite. There's a reason there's so many contradictions. There's several authors of the entire Bible, and they all claim to be inspired by God. Well, I feel pretty inspired by God right now, honestly. Where's my Bible? Give me a pen. So the thing about Leviticus is that it says like homosexuality is an abomination. It also tells people that they can't eat shellfish. It also says they cannot wear clothes woven of 2 different types of material. And there's all of these crazy laws that for some reason they were important to those people in that place and time. It meant something to them. It was important to them. Has nothing to do with today in modern society. So that's why when people use Leviticus, it's a joke. And I'm like, that's really cute with your poly cotton blend that you're wearing. So see you there, baby. In hell. See him in hell. With religion, the more I learned about other religions, the more I realized that the Abrahamic religions are not for me. I don't believe that any of them are any more inspired by a divine creator than pretty much any of the others. And so I started to see Jesus as a prophet. I know people want to say he's the son of God, he never sinned, and blah, 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 but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call bullshit on even that. What I think Jesus is, I think the Doobie Brothers have it right. Like, Jesus is just all right with me, but he's a prophet, and that's how I take him. So I was trying to determine where Jesus would even fit in with my life going forward. And the Doobie Brothers song, Jesus is Just All Right With Me, was definitely resonating. I had to really admit to myself that I didn't buy what the church was selling me, but that the teachings, the actual teachings of Jesus, those resonated with me. So I still to this day think Jesus's teachings are brilliant. It's the other stuff around it that I think is a toxic mess. And that's where I landed. And I am there still today. Having to go to church and put my energy and my little brain cells into that definitely robbed me of getting educated in other ways. Like, what would I have learned in that time? I mean, to play an instrument, I mean, sky's the limit, right? Read more books read more books, learn more of whatever. Learn to knit, I don't know. But at least the good thing about it, even though I was robbed of one thing, I did kind of gain something else, is that when it was time, I made the decision to come out and live life fully and out loud. I feel like I did not leave a stone unturned. I didn't compartmentalize it. I didn't say, hey, Jesus, you stay right there in that little corner. I'm going to go to the gay bar, but I'll be back. I didn't have that type of compartmentalization. I mean, I dealt with it. I rebelled, I reckoned, and I was able to do that because I did know the Bible so well, and I had been going to church so long. It's like I dissected everything. And so at least I have that. That's worth a lot. There's no doubt. I don't have guilt. I have no fear of hell. None of that.